What's up, guys? Pepper50 Spice here. Hope you guys are doing alright. Been a while since I've had to actually talk over a video, but as you have probably hopefully found out by now, that Noctis Lucis Kylum, I think that's how you pronounce his name, from Final Fantasy 15 was recently, revealed for Tekken 7. And this is probably one of the craziest things that I've seen in a video game in a while, because they had a character that was, not only was he not from the same game, but he wasn't even in a style that was remotely even close to what, the base game is about. So he's probably one of the craziest guest characters that I've ever seen. And this is going to be just an analysis of what I see in his move list and his gameplay, and also what my thoughts about what Noctis means in Namco's direction for Tekken 7. So, nobody was expecting Noctis. I don't think I saw anybody that was like, oh yeah, Noctis could definitely be a guest character for Tekken 7. This was completely caught everybody off guard, and with good reason, because, if you're not familiar with Noctis, he is a sword user. He's a weapons user in general. He's all about weapons. Like, he's a multi-melee weapons specialist. Also, he has guns and he has magic. Like, he has everything, pretty much, because that's just his fighting style, whatever. That's the style of Final Fantasy XV's fighting, is that Noctis is a character, all of them in fact, but mostly Noctis, can summon weapons from magic, basically, and use them temporarily. So Noctis has a huge arsenal of weapons of varying sizes and speeds at his arsenal. And I'm pretty sure Namco wanted to get Noctis because that he was just a very big mass appeal character that a lot of people could be familiar with, and he's from a recent game, so everyone could be like, oh wow, I can't believe Noctis is in Final Fantasy 15, I want to play him. Now, I understand that some people were not really too happy with him, because it's just like, whoa, why is this character in this game? Where's Kiryu? Where's anybody that's a martial artist? Why we got this anime Sasuke boy? Well, it just comes down to marketing, honestly. He is a decent character. I did like him in Final Fantasy 15 more than I thought I would. He's not my favorite Final Fantasy, so I'm pretty like 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10 on him. But his gameplay actually is what impressed me the most, other than the shock of him just being in the game, which is crazy enough. And anyway, so we're gonna get into the gameplay here. So one last thing about him is that purely this is definitely going to get a lot of non-fighting game fans who they just heard of Tekken, they never really played it, and then they're like, wow, Noctis is in Tekken, I'm a big Final Fantasy fan, now I'm gonna try Tekken. So once again, all about that marketing. Of course, some people wanted more fighting game characters, but if I recall, Namco or Harada was like, we don't want only fighting game characters in here. So we got Akuma and we got Geese, which is pretty understandable from a certain point of view. And I keep burping. This is even crazier than that. This is way out of left field. Akuma was crazy enough, but it was believable. This is really hard to believe. If you had told me that Noctis, Akuma, and Geese would all be in a Tekken game fighting each other, I would have called you a liar. But anyways, let's get onto the gameplay. Also, that neat part with the trailer for Prompto, Gladiolus, and Ignis made you think it was going to be one of them, but it's actually Noctis. So at this point, everyone was like, whoa, Noctis, it's crazy. And so here's the stage, which I forget the name of the stage. I could look it up. Hammerhead, that's the name of the area. It's a very small town, if you could call it even a town. It's more like just a rest stop. It's got like a diner, convenience store, and a mechanic's garage in the middle of the desert in the world of Final Fantasy 15. So right here, Steve throws out a Peekaboo Shoryuken, and Noctis punishes with this big uppercut slash, and I think this is going to be his hop kick. It's going to be, look like a down forward 2 kind of string, and judging by the animation of it, it does look like a decent attack. It has a pretty decent hitbox, and it actually reminds me a lot of Claudio's hop kick, so it could be really good. Also, in the background, you could see Sid, a character from Final Fantasy 15, laying in the sun chair by the garage, which is where he is. This stage, by the way, I think it looks really good, and it looks like it's going to be an infinite stage. An infinite stage, maybe without like walls. And then you could see the mechanic shop in the background. The weapon shop in the background. The sign for Golden Key, which is an area in Final Fantasy 15, and Gladiolus in the background as well. And see right here, Noctis throws a sword and hits him, and that seems like that's gonna be one hell of a whiff punisher. Like this, boom! Look at that whiff punisher, halfway across the screen. It looks really fast too. It's probably gonna be really punishable, or maybe it's gonna be like a just frame, because there were a couple just frame mechanics in Final Fantasy 15 where you had to time certain attacks. So that could be really crazy if that's a mechanic where you have to time it so he teleports. But either so, that's going to be a really great whiff punisher if that's a thing. Also from this combo, you could see a little bit of Noctis jumping in the air and doing several, screw attack into like a basic combo, and switching weapons, of course, in the midst of the combo. I don't think he's gonna have like a stance system where he switches like weapons and such. It's just gonna be built into his strings. And then you could see the Regalia, Chocobos, with Prompto and Ignis. Their models look a lot more low res, which is understandable. But the actual area looks like they just straight up imported it from Final Fantasy 15. And there's Cindy. And then looks like that's Noctis' armor move, which knocks him pretty far back. And this, I believe, is his 2 throw because it switches camera sides. And I noticed that almost all of his throws have magic in them. So that's going to be like the theme of his throws is that he uses magic in them. Which that was like Thundara right there. Also here, you can note that it KO'd Jack, but it didn't slow down the screen. So I'm wondering if maybe it's going to be a new mechanic where if you kill with a throw, it doesn't actually slow down the screen. I'm actually curious about this. Or it's just for special effects. And you can see here, actually, I noticed this, is that the time of day seems to pass in this stage because it's sundown, and it was daytime earlier, and then it's going to be nighttime as soon as he fights Yoshimitsu, which is really interesting. I think maybe it could be either a transition in the middle of the stage, or it could be like a last stage thing, or it could be like separate stages in themselves. Interesting thing about this string where he sidestepped Yoshimitsu is that this string, I'm not sure, but it looks like the entirety of it was a natural combo because it was like 6 hits and it was all natural combo, so it might be a counter hit, I'm not sure, but that seems like it was a lot of hits. Also, the last hit knocks him down in a state where that looks like that's definitely a combo starter, but then again, Noctis doesn't look like he recovers pretty quickly. There's another throw, and then I thought that could be like a launching throw, but then at the end he explodes him with the fire. I can't really see what arm he uses to throw, so I'm not exactly sure if that's a command throw or not. It kind of already starts with a throw. But once again, keeping with the magic theme of his throws. There's Gigas, they block a launch punch below, and then we've got like a wall standing 2-2, it looks like it, because it's his right arm, I think. And it looks like an auto screw wall standing launcher, so it's a lot like Yoshimitsu's. Which could be hit confirmable, which could not be. I'm going to guess it's not hit confirmable. And these teleport moves actually all really remind me of Master Raven, so he may or may not be invincible during them. I'm not sure. I would guess not. And then there's the big swords as well. Devil Jin, and then this is another throw. And this is another throw from the front, so this might be a 1+2 throw. Because actually, if you look at the way that Devil Jin collapses after the throw, this may or may not be a combo starter because it looks like he's falling down. But it depends on the recovery of Noctis afterwards. And you block this move, and then look like this move. This move is straight up a Demo Man. It's a 3-hit, looks like a knockdown low, so it looks like it's like pretty much a Demo Man. It's almost the same kind of animation too. Look at that leg. That's a fucking Demo Man right there. Look at this shit. The same sweeping down 4-1-2 it looks like, or down 1+2. And this dagger move, I'm actually not really sure how good this is gonna be. Interesting thing about Noctis is that you haven't seen a regular jab from him, so he may have a lot of unique attacks like, Akuma or Eliza or Geese or something, but I don't know, this could be interesting. I'm not really sure what the point of this is. It looks like a mid, so I'm not really sure what the point of that string is just yet. It could be good on frames or something. It could be like his 1-2. And then he has a parry right there, which looked like a reversal, automatic reversal. It might have been unparryable because of the animation. Also, here you can see that, make it very clear that Noctis has special effects when he hits you, and it's very blue and crystal themed, just like Final Fantasy. Also, his parry / reversal automatically knocks them back, which could be good for wall splat. Yeah, that's probably one of his intro poses, I imagine. He looks great, by the way. He looks really good. He looks higher quality compared to other models in the game, especially his outfit. And then Yakuma does a forward too, which I believe is -18. And so this is a really big launcher, so it seems that Noctis has some pretty good whiff punishers. He's got a good hop kick. He's got this thing, and this looks like a Class A launcher which does a ton of damage. Also, from that animation, you can already tell that Noctis has a lot of, like, mid-air throw starter things, where it's like, he does one move and it puts him in a specific animation. Also, this move, I'm not sure, but it looks like this move on this kick up, it looks like it could be a hop kick, but at the same time, I'm not really sure because it puts him in this animation. Also note that it lands Noctis behind Kuma, so I'm wondering where the opportunities are there. Oh, by the way, I'm pretty sure this is his running, could be his running 3, or his running too. It's some kind of running move because it comes from running stance and it avoided a low, which could be really interesting, and it knocks him down immediately, hard knockdown. Looks like that was on counter hit though, so I'm not really sure what the effects of that will be on normal hit. And then that was a wall standing 2, which I think from Kuma is maybe negative 13 to 15, negative 14 maybe. Either way, Noctis did this knockdown move, which could be a negative 13 Punisher at least, because this is a natural combo and it'll knock down. And then his Rage Art, which, you know, it's cool looking, but as any properties to it, it didn't look like anything special. It was just the mid, which is a cool Rage Art though. This is very cool. That's based on his King mode or whatever it was called in Final Fantasy 15, where he activated all of his weapons at once. Easy, yeah. I'm actually interested if they're gonna have like his English voice actor, but I imagine not so. And it's coming in spring 2018. And then they had this little joke thing here with not Lars, and you can actually see that he's talking to Lars on the phone. It's pretty funny. And then they're both fishing, which I thought this was gonna be another guest character, but it's like whatever. Oh, and by the way, if you didn't get this fishing thing, it's because every of the one of the party members in Final Fantasy 15 has like a hobby that they do, and when you do their hobby, it like levels up their stats a little bit. And Noctis' hobby was that he really likes fishing, and so they're fishing, you know, whatever. So overall, I think Noctis is really cool. I don't know anybody that doesn't see this as crazy. This is absolutely nuts. Really, I'm not sure about his pokes yet. He haven't really shown off any like good poking tools, but he definitely seems to have a lot of great whiff punishers. He's got the range, and I'm not sure about the damage. Obviously, we don't know the damage, and I haven't really seen any wall stuff with him. He definitely has some decent generic tools like a wall standing launcher, what looks like a hop kick, a parry. He's got a knockdown wall standing punisher, the hell sweep, of course, which is not really an advancing one. It looks like one of those, close range ones. It's basically a demo man. And we'll see. We'll see. I honestly want to see more, and he looks very fun. And I definitely plan on trying him out for sure. He looks like a very interesting character, and, it's a one-in-a-lifetime chance. You get to play fucking Noctis? That's crazy. I know some people are going to be upset with him. That's fine. Just don't play him. It's like Lucky Chloe all over again. Get this anime out of my Tekken. I feel you, but hey, just don't play him. Anyway, so that's what I think about him so far. So we'll see. We'll see in the later days if he comes to be more interesting or not. Also, this move is definitely going to be launch punishable. That fucking Class A launcher, there's no way that isn't negative 14 at least. But so far, he actually looks a little bit more generic than Geese or Akuma, which is interesting, considering he's one of them from a non-fighting game. Also, what's interesting is that he may have a mana meter, which could be interesting, like a MP, which he does have in Final Fantasy 15 to do some of his teleport and special attacks, but we'll see. So that's my review, and I'll see you guys later. You guys later.